I'm giving presentation on ethic frameworks. Myself, Chaudhary Irslan, Shakoor, exploring ethical framework categorical imperative in practice. Table of content, title slide, overview, categorical imperative, explain. Case studies, switch shops in Bangladesh, test 1 universal law, test 2 community as end, test 3 kingdom of ends, counter argument and rebuttal, real world impacts, summary references, and last one is thank you. Title slide. Kant ethical framework. Kant ethical framework is based on deontological ethics which focuses on duty and moral rules. It emphasizes the importance of adhering to moral principles regardless of the consequences. Rana Plaza case study involved the collapse of a garment factory in Bangladesh in 2013. This tragedy resulted in the loss of over 1,100 lives and highlighted significant ethical issues in global supply chains. Universal law test. The universal law test is based on the principle of universality. It requires that one act only according to maxims that can be viewed as universal law applicable to everyone. Immunity as end test. Immunity as end test state that individuals must be treated as end in themselves and never merely as means to an end. This principle emphasizes the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Kingdom of Ant test. The kingdom of Ant test promote acting according to maxims that could be accepted by a community of rational beings. It encourages the establishment of moral laws that respect the autonomy and dignity of all individuals. Kant's ethical frameworks is based on deontological ethics, which emphasizes moral duties. The categorical imperative serves as the guiding principle for determining the morality of actions based on their intentions. Rana Plaza case study referred to the 2013 garment factory collapse in Bangladesh, which resulted in over 1,100 deaths. This tragedy highlights critical issues of worker safety and corporate responsibility in the fashion industry. Moral test analysis. Kant first test universal law asserts that exploitation can't be universalized without causing social harm. The second test, humanity as an emphasizes that work should not be treated merely as tool for profit. Counter-argument addressed. Critics of Kantian ethics often argue that it is too rigid and does not account for pragmatic considerations. However, the moral duty to treat individuals with dignity must be balanced with real-world implications for workers. Kant categorical imperatives explained. Kant ethical framework. The ontological ethics focus on duty and rules. Moral action are based on universal maxims. Consequences of exploitation, erosion of trust in relationship, negative impact on social justice and equality. Case studies, speech shops in Bangladesh, Kant ethical framework, deontological ethic emphasizes the importance of moral duty over consequences. Moral duties are guided by universal maxims applicable to all rational beings. Rana Plaza tragedy collapse. The Rana Plaza factory collapse in Bangladesh in 2013 resulted in over 1,100 deaths. This tragedy brought global attention to the urgent need for labor rights and safety regulations. Exploitation of labor. Workers in sweet shops face poor working conditions that jeopardize their health and safety. Myth versus fact. Myth: labor laws are sufficient to protect workers in sweet shops. Fact: many workers remain unprotected and continue to face exploitation despite existing laws. Post-reform impact. Following the Rana Plaza disaster, improved safety regulations were implemented in the garment industry. There is increased awareness of labor rights, but ongoing challenges in enforcement remain. Test 1 Universal Law Exploitation Consequences. Exploitation often leads to increased economic disparity. This widening gap can result in social unrest in marginalized groups fight for their rights. Moral law violation. The erosion of ethical standards occurs when exploitation becomes normalized. This industry towards vulnerable population undermines the foundation of human rights. Immunity as ends. Test 2. Immunity as end test treat individuals as ends in themselves, not merely as means to an end. This principle emphasizes the intrinsic value of every person, requiring respect for their rights and dignity. Test 3. Kingdom of ends. Universal law violation. The maxim suggests exploiting labor for profit. If universalized, all industries would compromise safety, wages, and workers' rights. Immunity as end denied. Workers are treated merely as mean to profit. They are denied to access to education, healthcare, and fair pay. Counter argument and rebuttal. Myths Swiss shop boost economics. Some argue that Swiss shops contribute positively to economic growth. This perspective overlooks the ethical implication of exploitation. To effect ends don't justify means. Kant argues that exploiting humans for economic gain corrupts moral law. Ethical practice must prioritize human dignity over profit. Number three, solution fair wages and solution. Implementing for fair wages can improve workers' living conditions. Unionization empowers workers to advocate for their rights. Number four, safety standards are essential. Improving safety regulation can prevent tragedies like Rana Plaza. Corporate responsibility is crucial for protecting workers. Fifth, sport ethical alternatives. Brands like Patagonia demonstrate the viability of fair trade practices, choosing ethical fashion, sports, sustainable business models. Real-world impact. Both ethical test exploitation can be universalized without harming society. Workers should not be treated merely as tools for profit. Moral laws require the inclusion of workers' voices. Rana Plaza case study. The Rana Plaza factory collapse in 2013 resulted in 1,134 deaths and 2,500 injuries. This tragedy exposed the unsanctioned exploitation in the garment industry. Counter-argument attests the myth that switch shop boost economies in Chase challenge. Kant argues that human exploitation can't be justified for economic gain. Ethical alternative proposed, advocating for fair wages, unionization, and improved safety standards. Examples include the fair trade practices of brands like Patagonia. Summary: Kant ethical framework. Immanuel Kant ethical emphasizes the importance of treating individuals as ends in themselves, not merely as mean to an end. Rana Plaza tragedy. Rana Plaza factory collapse in 2013 resulted in 1,134 deaths and highlighted the dire consequences of unsafe working conditions. Moral test fail. Speech shops fail all three of Kant's moral tests. They can't be universalized, treat workers as mere tools, and exclude them from moral decision making. Counter-argument addressed. The belief that Swiss shop boosts economy is countered by the ethical stance that human exploitation can't be justified for economic gain. Ethical alternatives proposed: support for fair wages, unionization, and improved safety standards offers a path toward ethical labor practice in the garment industry. References: Kant number one, ethical tests. Kant ethical test. Exploitation can't be applied universally. Workers are not tools for profit. Moral laws requires participation. Two, Rana Plaza case study in 2013. The Rana Plaza factory collapse, killing 1,134 people and injured two and injuring 2,500. This disaster exposed the unsafe nature of garment workers in Bangladesh. Number three, counter-argument address myths which have improved economies. Fact exploiting people can't be justified for economic gain. For real-world solutions, support fair wages and unionization for workers, choose brand and prioritize safety and dignity. Thank you, everyone. Kant ethical test, Visha exploitation, Rana Plaza case study, counter argument test, and real world solution.